Hello everyone, this is Jenny with your energy forecast for the week starting on February the 17th and running through February the 23rd. If you are new to my channel, I am a practicing shaman and I do energy readings and I help people get in touch with their own animal spirit guides. This is only my second video here on YouTube, and I feel very thankful that I already have subscribers. So thank you for that. So to start off the reading, I always pull one card from one of my favorite tarot decks. And this is a deck called the Herbal Tarot by a man called Michael Chiera. One of you asked me why I pull this card beforehand, why I don't pull it on camera. The reason for that is that I am an empath, and that means that I feel the energy of other people very strongly. So when I have to tune into the energy of the collective, it can be a very powerful experience and sometimes a little overpowering. So I always have to do a lot of meditation, both before and after I pull that card. At the moment, there's a lot of fear energy in the collective. It ties into political unrest and the coronavirus, climate change, things like that. And we cannot go into fear energy, especially not when we have to do readings like the ones I do. So I do need to protect myself and to do meditations both before and after I pull that card. So that's the reason for that. So the card that came up today that gives us an idea of the overall energy of the week is the Three of Wands. So we are still in the Wands suit this week. Remember, with these readings, time is fluent. So I am tuning into the energy now to give you a forecast for next week. But remember, you can always benefit from watching my video from the previous week, because that energy might still be valid this week too. So this week it is the Three of Wands. So again, the Wand suit is associated with the element of fire, and this has to do with movement, travel, moving house, anything that involves physical movement in your life here on Earth. This is the minor arcana, so it is the energy tied into life here on Earth and what happens with us in this earthly plane. So this is a more positive card than the Nine of Wands we had last week. The new ship the man is looking at represents hope, new opportunities, positive energy coming in. So this means that the hard work you did last week and the decisions you were forced to make with regards to your job and your workload, or with regards to your relationship and the old wounds you might have that still need healing, all of that work is paying off. We have lights at the end of the tunnel. There is a positive new start coming up for you. It is also a card that tells you to be patient. Notice the ship has not docked yet, so these opportunities for you are still arriving, but they are on their way. So it is an optimistic card. We should also notice that the man is standing there alone with his wands. So we might still have an energy this week that encourages you to reach out to others, to ask your friends or your family for help, to ask your co-workers for help if you feel overwhelmed with the workload you have. The 3 is an uneven number, and that can always indicate to us that there is something missing in the cycle. There's something missing to create balance. So if this relates to your work life, it means that, again, all of these decisions you have made with regards to your workload, they are beginning to pay off. You might not feel as overwhelmed in the future as you have been feeling. There might also be new opportunities on the horizon for you that won't feel overwhelming, that you would like to welcome, like a ship you can jump on and like a journey you can take. If it relates to your love life, it might indicate that the wounds or the self-love you have been working on to be able to be there fully for your partner, that is also paying off, that your relationship is going in the right direction. And if you're single, it might mean that there is love on the horizon for you, that there is something new coming in that you should embrace. So this is a very positive card. This again is from my Herbal Tarot deck. So here you have the card from the original Rider-Waite Tarot deck. The ocean in this card is not so clear, but it is still there. And you can see the ships as little dots here. But the overall message is the same in these two cards. So a more positive and hopeful energy this week. And that new beginning that this ship here can symbolize is also tied into the new moon energy that we are entering next week. The new moon is next weekend. Now, I don't use astrology in my readings, so I don't know exactly what sign it is in right now. But the new moon energy is always an energy that supports new beginnings, that supports you in realizing your dreams or in discovering what it is you want to do with your life. It also supports the beginning of new projects and new trips that you want to take, new little venues in life that you want to explore. So this card is tied into the new moon energy. So make sure you try and take advantage of that energy. Once you start working with the moon, which I do every month, you will learn very quickly how powerful that energy is. It is a feminine energy, of course. So it can have that gentle feel to it also, or maybe a more natural feel than the energies of other planets. So see if you can take advantage of that new moon energy next week. So the crystal I have been guided to work with this week is a moonstone. This is a black or a gray moonstone. Let me see if I can hold it a little closer. You can see it has these wonderful different colors that intertwine, and it is really a beautiful stone. The black or gray moonstone in particular is very gentle compared to other moonstones. And this is a stone that holds the energy of the new moon. So it supports you in all of these new beginnings. And it can also ground you and protect you. For me personally, it always makes me smile when I hold this stone in my hand. And it can also promote daydreaming for me. So it is not the stone I can work with if I have a lot of practical things I need to take care of, because it ties so strongly into your intuition that if you are open, it can immediately take you deep into yourself and connect you with spirit in a very profound way. So it can support your intuition and is always a good stone when you have to start new ventures. Because it has this strong connection with the intuition, it can also connect you with spirit. It can open up your mind to divine inspiration. And it's a feminine energy, so when we look at what it can help you with in a more concrete way, it can help you with anything tied into female hormones and the balance of the cycle. It can help with menopause. It can help you after childbirth. So it has all of those qualities too. But it is a very powerful stone for connecting with spirit and for feeling your intuitive guidance. So whenever we're entering that new moon energy, this is a stone that can help you tap into everything that energy stands for and everything that the new moon can help bring about in your life. So this is the stone for this week. So let's see what our animal spirit guides have to tell us. I am still using the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. As I said last time, it is one of my go-to decks. It just resonates with me really well. So my clients sometimes ask me what they can actually learn from connecting with their animal spirit guides, and it can be very beneficial for you. Animals also come to this earthly plane with a life purpose and with a soul purpose, but they are different from us because they already know what that purpose is. They know what their life purpose is, what their soul purpose is upon arrival. Part of the human experience is that we are on this journey. We have a soul mission, and we have a life, a certain life purpose also that we need to find. But we can be lost. We can be confused and uncertain as to what that is. And this is where the animal spirits can help us. So they can be real productive guides in life. And I speak from experience here. Oops. So they came very quickly here. We actually have 3 cards. These two are almost... We actually have 4 cards. These two were stuck together but wanted to come, both of them. So that's always interesting when that happens. That means our animal spirits have a lot on their mind today. So the first card that was very eager to come today is the Peacock Spirit. And you can see the little message underneath. It says, "Let it shine." Now I interpret these cards intuitively. So what I say about them is not always the same as what you can read in these little guidebooks that come with the decks. But the Peacock Spirit is a card that often comes to us when we have been living in shadow for a little too long. So if you remember the reading from last week, we had an energy that was very heavy, and we had the 9 of Wands telling us that we have been feeling overwhelmed and weighed down. And that can make us forget to let our own light shine. It can make us forget that we all have something inside us that wants to come out and dance. And this is what Peacock tells us. Peacock tells us that it is time to raise that big, beautiful tail and let it shine and show off those feathers. So this comes to us when we need to be reminded of the inner lights that we all have. We need to be reminded of our own spiritual beauty. What the peacock can teach us about, or can teach you about your shadow side, is that you might be a little too quick to raise up that tail, and you might dance and dance and dance and dance, and not really be mindful of also preserving your energy. And remember, this card also tells us about patience, that the ship is not quite here yet. The party has not quite begun, but we can still start the dance. We can still start wriggling that tail and be a little more happy. Also be a little more confident that we have this inner beauty, and then let it out. Let the world see what we have to offer. The next card that wanted to come is the Vulture Spirit. And many of my clients always think that this is negative when the vulture comes up. And this is because this bird, of course, is a bird that eats carcasses and dead animals. So that can make us think that this is negative, that it is somehow an omen of death. But that is simply not fair to this Vulture Spirit. It can be a very positive card in the reading, because the main thing the Vulture Spirit can teach us is that nothing is wasted. So again, if you remember all of that work, all of those things that you felt overwhelmed by last week, that can also leave us with a feeling that all of my efforts are in vain, that what I do never pays off. But here we do have an energy that tells us, oh yes, it does. The ship is coming in, and it does pay off what you do and what you try to accomplish. And this is what the Vulture card tells us. It tells us that, or what Vulture Spirit tells us. This spirit tells us that your efforts are not in vain. That whatever you do is not wasted. Everything is going towards a good cause. So it can also teach us to keep on going, because every little bit of this dead animal will be devoured. Every little bit of it will come to good use, be taken back to the nest and be food for the little baby vultures. What Vulture Spirit can teach us about our shadow side is that we have to be careful not to hang on to dead projects. Remember this card. Remember this animal circles or hovers over these carcasses of dead animals. So it is attracted to death, and that means that what it can teach us about our shadow sides is tied into what we need to let go of. So again, that was the energy of last week. Is there something we need to let go of, something that doesn't serve us anymore? Do we still need to let go in order for this ship to come in and for us to be able to jump on board? So you still need to consider that. Again, it's the patience. You need to consider, am I totally done with everything that doesn't serve me, or is there still a little work to be done in that area? It's also interesting that we have two bird cards coming up. Whenever a lot of bird cards come up in a reading, it also has to do with moving away from things and moving towards new beginnings. Birds can fly, so this is about, again, about looking at what in your current situation doesn't serve you, and then leave that behind. Fly towards the new beginning, fly towards the horizon. So yeah, that's also interesting when the birds come up, when we have two birds coming up. The next card we have is the Antelope card, and this doesn't surprise me with this being the overall energy of the week. The antelope is a very fast animal. They can run really quickly. So when the Antelope Spirit comes rushing into our life, it is a reminder that it is now time to set sail. it is now time to act on these dreams that you have. Get some action behind it all and see if you can leap forward and find that goal of yours that you have in mind. You can see the message on the card is life is speeding up, and this should be understood in a positive sense. It is not that you are suddenly feeling overwhelmed by life again or anything like that. It is simply that the energy right now in this moment supports the new beginnings. The new moon again, it supports that we are now entering an energy where you can be supported in reaching for your goals and where you can be supported in your dreams. What the Antelope Spirit can teach us about our shadow sides is that they are prey animals. They do have big animals of prey after them that they have to escape, and they have to run very quickly and dart hither and thither and get away from these claws and this big jaw that wants to eat them. So again, they might move a little too quickly. Remember, the Peacock card also might just strut his feathers and dance and dance and dance and not have much patience. So it's about patience again. That life is speeding up, yes, but don't rush into things without sitting back and thinking it through and without asking yourself, does this really serve me? And if you notice how these cards were practically glued together when I shuffled before, that is no surprise either, because Grasshopper Spirit is a very, very positive animal spirit here. And Grasshopper always supports new ventures. This is an animal that can take great leaps. So Grasshopper Spirit also comes to us when it is time for us to take the leap, when it is time for us to trust in our dreams and stop thinking about it so much and trust that we will land on the right flower or on the right leaf. So trust that it is time to chase the dream, that it is time for this new beginning to come, and that it is time to embrace that. Grasshoppers can also sing. They can make very loud music, and they use their little wings for that, I believe. So yeah, they have a lot to say also. They are not afraid of letting their inner light shine. They are not afraid of letting the world hear their voice. So Grasshopper comes to us again when it is time to take that leap of faith, when it's time to jump and start chasing the new beginnings. What the Grasshopper can teach us about our shadow sides is that he is a fragile little guy and is often eaten by other animals who eat bugs. So he's a fragile little fella. So he can teach us that yes, you should jump, but don't forget about yourself in the process. Don't jump into something that will drain you completely of energy. Jump towards the thing that serves you. So you can see it is a bit of a dual message this week. And that is the energy of the new moon that is coming in, telling us that the time for the new beginnings are here. But we still need to remember the energy of last week and the energy that has been dominant up until this point, that says that we need to take a critical look at our life, at the things in our work life, in our private life that might not serve us anymore or that might drain us and drag us down. So it's a dual energy. On one hand, embrace all of the new. Don't be afraid to take a leap of faith. Don't be afraid to run towards your dreams, to go for them. And don't be stuck in a mind frame that says everything has been wasted, all of my hard efforts will never pay off. Dance and show off your beautiful inner light, but do it while keeping in mind what serves you well, and while preserving your own energy also. Don't let it drain you. Don't think that every new opportunity that shows itself this week is the one you have to leap for. Still be critical still, and take a look at it and have a little patience. Remember here, again, the ship is not docked yet. The ship is still out there on the horizon. So think about it. Think about it still. Don't jump at all costs. So yeah, that was the energy of this week. You might have noticed I have a little plant on my table today. That is to remind myself that I am using this herbal tarot deck. I forgot about that last time. Not that I was using it, but I forgot to tell you about the herb depicted. So the herb that we have depicted on the card this week is saffron. So saffron can stimulate a feeling of inner warmth. It can also help you with digestion. So that means it can help you get rid of any toxins you might have, things we have in our body, toxins in our bowel system or things like that. That's also energy. So saffron can help you see your part in this dance of life, if we call it that. It can help you assimilate the lessons of this card. So it can help you see clearly. It is a very good spice to work with when we are talking about enhancing our inner eye, our also the third eye, our ability to see more clearly where we are headed, also what our soul's journey is. It is connected into the element of fire also, and can help give you that push you require to move forward. That last little shove you might need to believe in your dreams for real. So saffron is a culinary spice primarily. So you can benefit from eating rice dishes this week, for instance, with the saffron spice. There are many of these wonderful Indian yellow rice dishes that might serve you this week. Remember, when I say these things about herbs and spices, I am not a doctor. So you always need to consult your physician if you have any health issues to make sure that you can actually eat this. Saffron should not be ingested. For instance, if you are pregnant, that can be harmful. So make sure you always check up on that. But you can benefit from incorporating this spice into your diet this week. I can say again from personal experience that once you do start incorporating all these elements, both the crystals and different spices or herbs in your diet, then you will feel an energetic lift almost immediately. I can almost guarantee you that, again, based on my experience. So this was your energy reading for this week. If you would like a private reading with me, please write the email you see in the video description. And I hope you will have a very positive week. See if you can tap into the energy of the new moon, and see if you can run towards your dreams this week and make your own music and show off your feathers. So I wish you all a very happy week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!